you a little bit about how the course is organized and how the assignments and grading is going to be done during this quarter. The course is organized by points. You need to earn about 1,000 points, and it's going to be set up the regular way where 900 points or above is in the A range, 800 to 900 points is in the B range, and so on. But you have 1,800 points available to you. So you're going to be able to select the assignments that you want to do in order to get to your 1,000 points. You're going to have two kinds of activities. You're going to have required things that you have to do, and you need to do 70% of these in order to get in order to be eligible for getting a B or better in the class. And then you're going to have a list to select from called your choice activities. So you have the option of doing a deeper dive on something that you're really interested in, or sample a lot of the different topics that we're going to be covering this quarter. So this is basically how it's organized, and this is how the points are distributed. So there's going to be weekly reading quizzes, and they're worth 15 points each for a total of 150 points. There's also going to be weekly team discussions in class, and those are worth 15 points each, again, a total of 150 points. So that's 300 of your 1,000 points. You need to have 210, that's a typo, minimum in order to earn a B or better. So if you skip all of these, you can't make it up by doing extra assignments on the your choice, from the your choice column. You have to do things in both. For the your choice, you need to pick at least one fact sheet assignment and one reaction paper assignment, but the rest can be in any configuration that you want. And the fact sheets are worth 100 points each. There's 5 of those, and the reaction papers are worth 200 points each, and there's 5 of those. So there's another 1,500 points worth from this, and you're going to do roughly half. So let me tell you about each of the things. So weekly online reading quizzes are going to be due on Monday, except for week 1, they're going to be due on Friday. Instead of the reading quiz for 3 of the days, it's week 1, and I think week 3 or 4, and then week 7, there's going to be some surveys. And in the surveys, I'm really interested in what is your motivation for the class? What do you find to be most interesting? Are there barriers to your motivation? What are your interests like? And you'll have the opportunity to ask me questions or to share whatever you like on those surveys. The surveys are anonymous. And so the way I give you credit is after you complete the survey, it'll give you a link, and that link will take you to another survey where you will write in your name and your email so that I can make sure to give you the credit for completing the survey. But the survey is completely separate from your name. And so you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, because I really, really want to know how the class is going for you, how you're feeling about the material. Is there something I can help you with? I really need to know that so that I can make adaptations to the class as we go along. So we're going to do that 3 times, and it's going to be each of those is worth 15 points, and it'll be part of the online quizzes. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to have a weekly team discussion. I've put you into teams, and you're going to get a vignette or a video or a case of some kind that's related to the general topic. And there's going to be questions for discussion that you're going to ask, or that you're going to answer, that I'm going to ask, that you're going to answer as a group or individually. And then as a group, you're going to discuss those, and you're going to identify themes in your group. And then we're going to pull everything together and discuss these in class. I think this is a really good way for you to get to know each other, to get different perspectives, pull in your different experiences, and to share with that. It's also a really good way to help information stick. I think that the research shows that Just reading about something doesn't lend itself to long-term memory. You really learn something if you have the opportunity to think about it, to discuss it, to debate it, and to apply what you're reading to an actual real live case study. And that's what we're trying to do with this team discussion. One of the possible assignments for you is a fact sheet. And there's going to be 5 opportunities to do these, and these are worth 100 points each, and there's one for every topic. So there's one for inclusion and history of disabilities laws in the US. There's one on learning disabilities. There's one on communication disorders and so on. And so you can pick whatever thing of interest that you want to pick within that broad topic. And the assignment is to make like a handout or a some kind of fact sheet. And you can use Canva or any of those design apps to develop information that is factual and accurate about some aspect related to working with exceptional children that would be aimed for parents. If you're a teacher, if you're working in the public sector, if you're at a community center, if you're working, if you're a social worker, what do parents need to know about autism? What do they need to know about the law? What do they need to know about learning disabilities? So you pick one thing and you're going to design a fact sheet handout that you would provide to parents that's based on current accurate information. It's really important to know how to do this, to kind of organize information for a public audience. And there's a lot of misinformation out there too. And so I want you to get experience doing that. And I'm going to be looking at the content, the clarity, the style, and then you're going to provide a reference sheet. So I want you to, pull information from the chapters and 2 outside sources that are journal articles that are data-based. And so you're going to write an annotated bibliography that says, I got this information from this paper, this information from this other article, and this information from the chapter, so that you're backing up your facts. So that's one assignment. There's 5 of those, and you can do up to 5. So you can get 500 points from there. The other thing that I'm going to have you do is reaction papers. And a reaction paper is when you view, read a paper or watch a movie or listen to a podcast, and you're going to have your opinion about that. So, so what is it that the movie said, or what are some interesting points that came out around the movie, and then what is your reaction to it? And you use the literature, so the research in that area to support what your reaction to it. It could be that you agree. It could be that you want to expand. It could be that you disagree. You can refute or update. So you can do any of those things. And I've already selected some TED Talks, a couple of movies, a podcast, and you can select to do up to 3 of these. You need to do at least 1. You can do up to 3. That 3 would get you to 600 points, plus a fact sheet that would get you your 700 points. But pick a topic that you're interested in. I think I've picked some really interesting movies and TED Talks and things like that, that really highlight some of the key issues that we're talking about, and then use the literature to compare, is this true? Is this not true? Is there more detail needed? Or how do we situate this information? And I'll be giving you rubrics around how this is going to be graded and what I'm going to be looking for here. And then what I want you to do this week is develop a plan for what you're going to do. So I'll show you a spreadsheet that I made available to you that you can kind of play with to make your plan. So remember, everybody has to do the weekly online homework. everybody's got to do the in-class activities. And then you have some choices, and there's different ways you can get there. There's some fact sheets. So you can do 3 fact sheets and 2 reaction papers, or you can do 5 fact sheets and 1 reaction paper. You can do 1 fact sheet and 3 reaction papers. So any of these options are going to get you to the points. All right, let me show you the spreadsheet. I think it's really neat. So you have an opportunity to download this and play with it yourself. And so what I've done is I've put all the different themes in column A, when it's due in column B, the points value in column C, and then what you're going to do is make an X where on any things that you plan to do. And this will help you kind of populate your calendar and plan for the quarter. And so I've already pre-populated the things that everybody has to do. So that gets you to 300 points. And so you can see that there's 300 points down here. But then say you want to do something about inclusion. So you're going to say, okay, I'm going to do a fact sheet inclusion, the fact sheet assignment, and I'm going to do the Crip Camp reaction paper, because I really think that looking at the history of the law and how the ADA came about and how that affects the way that we serve children with disabilities is really critical, and that's what I'm interested in. And so you pick those 2 things. And so now you're at 600 points. You need 400 more points. And then you could go down here and say, well, you know, I'm not interested in RTI, but I am interested in communication disorders. I'm going to do a fact sheet. But I'm not interested enough in communication disorders enough to do a reaction paper. So I'm going to go down here, maybe do an emotional and behavioral disorders fact sheet, and I'm going to put an X there. So now we're up to 800 possible points. But what I'm really interested in is intellectual and developmental disabilities. So I'm going to do a reaction paper, and that gets me to 1,000 points. Okay, so that's how that works. Now over here, you can put in your points so far. Now I'm assuming that if you do all these things, you're going to get those 300 points. So you should be good there. But as you go along, you can put in the points that you've gotten. So you got 100 there. You got 200, you know, maybe you got 180 here, and you can revise one of these as long as you got at least 140 points. So if you got a C or better and you want to revise it, you can do that. If you got a C, if you got below a C, you probably, you want to pick another assignment, and you can do extra assignments to bring up your points. So that's going to be fine. And then say over here, you were going to do this, but you ran out of time, you had a bad week, but so that's okay. But now you're going to have to pick something else. So this helps you kind of keep on target. And so maybe you do this one and you decide, I probably need to do another, a reaction paper to make that up. So I'm going to do this reaction paper, and now I've brought my grade up into the B+ range. Is there anything else I can do to move myself into the A range? So that's how this spreadsheet works. You just want to put X's in column D and then fill out your points so far so that you can track your grade. Now, if it's week 6 or 7 and you haven't turned anything in, I can assure you that you're going to get an email from me saying, is everything okay? Do you need help to plan? We're running out of possible assignments for you to do to get a good grade. I can't help myself. So I think that this is a good way to plan for your quarter and to, you know, feel you're not tied to this. I don't need to see this, but this is really for you to come up with a plan, because the quarter can go so fast. You know, download this from Canvas, play with a little bit, and then so that you have a plan for your quarter. All right, I think that's it, and I'll see you soon.